Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys Gone Wild. This is episode 199. We're one off a huge milestone.
Absolutely marvelous milestone.
Episode 120, and to celebrate we'll do, which we haven't done for a while, we'll do a Q&A where you send in voice note questions. I don't know if we scare people off with the voice note questions, but I think it's quite nice to hear.
Yeah.
To put a voice to the
hate.
To the hate, to the profile
voice
pictures.
To the comments. Yeah, it's nice. Oh, you don't have to
connect.
do it.
It's all about... Do you know what it's all about, Andrew?
What?
It's all about fan engagement.
Yeah, connecting with the people that connect with you.
Yeah, and you know what is important? Building a community.
Yep, building a safe space for people, like-minded individuals to get together and share their thoughts and feelings for the world and in the world.
I got a Patreon message once about how my community building skills weren't good enough. Apparently, I hadn't built enough of a community on Patreon.
That's true.
He messaged saying, on other
I
patrons.
remember this guy,
Yeah, he says, I'm in other communities.
Yeah.
Which, and he then talked about rival podcasts, and he's talking about how great those communities are.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I like the podcast, but the community, I don't feel it. But this guy seems a bit of a slut for communities, if you think about it.
Yeah.
He's got 3 or 4 communities on the go, and he's telling other communities they're not good as... Do you know what I mean? It's hardly a community if you have to have so many communities.
Yeah. Surely if these communities were so good, then you wouldn't be going and looking for another community with us.
Or telling other communities how to run a community. It's my community, and I'll run it how I want.
Sure, yeah, it sounds like exactly. Well, in a way, we have got a very clearly defined community.
What is
it's
it?
Just not a. Do you know what I mean? A close community doesn't mean it's no less of a community.
It's small?
A community is just a set of values.
Yeah.
And our values are that we don't talk to each other.
Yeah.
And that's what binds us as a community.
Yeah. That's
we don't talk to each other.
You don't talk to.
Yeah, you can have a community of people that don't talk to each other.
It's a silent community.
A bit like a community of incels. I mean, kind of.
No, it's people with their tongues cut out in a war.
What? Yeah.
Well, I think
prisoners in POW camps.
I think it would say the closest I can imagine it in real life terms what our community would be like.
Yeah.
Would be that one brutal war method
where
they cut out people's tongues.
Yeah.
And in a rehab centre.
Yeah.
About 400, 450 of these people who fought in this war.
Yeah. Okay.
That community.
That's our community. The problem is that on Patreon we post, they can't post.
So we've got tongues.
So we've got tongues, but we refuse to use them, and we cut off everyone else's tongues. It's actually a good time to plug the Patreon because we never do.
Yeah.
Go and subscribe. No, we don't plug it. We say join us on Patreon. Yeah. If you go and subscribe on Patreon, it's not that much. There's tiers. $2.50. It's $2.50 a month. You can get all of the previous Patreons.
So. And you're going to join the most thriving community.
You'll
join the hustle.
How much more?
I'll tell you one thing.
How much more of us talking can anyone want?
I'll tell you one thing. I do read every comment.
Me too.
And I read every message.
Me too.
So, though I'm not great at responding.
Me too.
And I shan't. Well, you never respond.
No, I've done some posts.
Yeah.
I've almost done as many as you post-wise, but that's when we're like, should we do a post?
Yeah.
I've never done like, what's up, guys?
Or you never get involved in the YouTube comments. You never.
I have once or twice, but very rarely.
Yeah.
I'll do like a like.
I'm fending off the pig solo.
Yeah,
I'm fighting them off.
I'm like,
you're chilling out.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I like all of our hate comments. It's a really,
you like all of them.
Yeah, I always
but
like
that doesn't. I guess it
doesn't help.
Yeah, but they don't know it's you.
You can't see the names. No. It always makes me laugh.
So it just helps.
If ever someone goes in on us on TikTok or on YouTube, I will like it.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of comments on TikTok where I'll be like, yeah.
When you support the hate.
I'll be like, yeah, you're right, actually, yeah. Because I'll be like at my undercover account. It's my burner account, even though the name is Andrew Kerwin. And there is, if you go on my profile.
It's your Finsta, yeah.
It is. If you go on my profile, it's just a video of me mouthing along to me. Oh, no, go check it out. Go check out Andrew Kerwin TikTok.
It's good stuff. No, we got into, it wasn't hot water, but for us it's hot water, which is 3 negative comments. Because we have on average we get 15 comments. So if 3 of them are negative, it feels like...
Yeah, it's a lot.
It feels like a hailstorm.
It is, yeah.
And a lot of them were quite justified, I felt.
Oh, 100%.
Because I do think I was a bit harsh on Matt Rife. And I think the hate comments that I like the most are the ones where they're like disappointed in you.
I like...
Because it's not
I beg you to do some research. Because it's not
angry, it's not trolls, it's not their life sad. It's you could have been something, but you're not.
It's clearly genuine fans or people who at least enjoy listening, and they're like,
or they know
but they're at their wits' end. Because it's like, they enjoy the chat, but it's like, can you guys just do 10 minutes of research before you come on?
Yeah.
Just I laughed so much because I woke up quite late because I was out on Thursday night. So I woke up quite late on Friday and then just checked the video, see how it was doing with all the comments. And just the fact that Jupiter does have rings. That made me laugh so much because I even looked it up.
Yeah.
But it was, I think it didn't show in the picture.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
It does.
But does it though?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Does it though?
Yeah, it does.
Because I think it's rings like Brian Cox will go, actually,
the thing
there is rings, but that doesn't mean there's rings.
Jupiter is the rings are actually quite covert.
Yeah. So famously, Jupiter, people think that Saturn when they think of rings, but actually
Jupiter has its own rings.
That doesn't mean it has rings.
Like us.
That means that he knows he has rings.
It's like marriage.
But Jupiter doesn't have rings, right? Yeah. Like a 6-year-old, when every class is named after a planet, they wouldn't know that it has rings.
Well,
right?
I already looked this up, so I don't know. We can't even get the truth out of me Googling things.
I think it's how hard we went in on Matt Rife about the lack of research for his material.
Yeah.
When he had
I piggybacked
wrong. And then we went into a bit straight after talking about Matt Rife, where we talk about how we don't research anything. Which I guess was a saving grace. But we hadn't realised we were actually talking about.
We were perpetrating the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever.
It was quite. It was a real train of shit.
Yeah.
It was a cycle.
Well, there was that, and then was it just the Jupiter thing? There were other things that people.
On the clip.
I always like when someone says, "Oh well, you fucking losers," talking about someone who's 100 times funnier. And I was like, he's not 100 times funnier.
Yeah,
he might be like
Yeah, I can understand. If you're a big Matt Rife fan,
maybe at max 20. I mean, who like Eddie? How much can anyone be more so than 100? That's a lot. That's a lot.
Because if they'd said 1,000,000 times,
that's like. Think about what 2 times is. Double. That's,
there's no way
even for someone not that funny.
Yeah.
I don't know who, I think Eddie Murphy and the least, I don't know why I'm saying Eddie Murphy's the funniest, but he's up there.
He's funny.
He's absolutely up there. So with one of the least funny people on the planet, I don't
Anne
think
Widdecombe?
Anne Widdecombe. Well, actually, she's quite funny, I think.
Yeah, probably.
But that's not a bad example.
Got a nasty sense of humour.
What's that? Probably, bear in mind, twice as much. You're doubling it twice.
Olaf.
4 times by 4.
The new German Chancellor, I imagine he doesn't have a lot of...
Olaf
Schlinkenschlaufen.
I feel like Olaf me something off, you know what I mean? Laugh me pants off. Laugh me pants off.
That's not his name.
Laugh me pants off.
It's not, I think it's something else. I don't think it's that.
You don't think it's that? The new German Chancellor. Have you heard the new German Chancellor? Laugh me pants off.
He's from Yorkshire.
I left my pants in changing room.
After Angela Merkel, they got in straight from Yorkshire. They flew in.
Left me pants off. Is he the new... Have you heard much about him?
Olaf? No, I think he's actually been doing quite a quiet job and will only... in the way that I imagine German chancellors do.
Well, Merkel was... I guess she was quietly diligent.
Obviously not Hitler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Obviously not him.
All right. Well, I just kind of moved on from it. I don't still hold them accountable.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Because he was one of the least quiet chancellors of all time.
He was definitely up there with one of the louder ones. I'll laugh my pants off.
No, I can imagine it's a safe pair of hands. The Germans, they're sensible people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know what they're doing.
Apart from all the leather bum rapes they have.
Well, we've actually got a theory about that. That was one of our theories.
What about the Japanese?
Techno and kind of the bondage kind of thing going on in Berlin particularly is like repenting for the sins of their ancestors, which is kind of one of our most interesting takes.
What, it's like a medieval monk wearing a hair shirt.
Yeah, not penance,
a modern
but kind
German
of penance.
Is
penance?
Is in a gimp mask to pay for the sins of...
Yeah, and I'm like, it's going to take a bit more than a gimp mask, but... If that was the Nuremberg trials, every sentence is just you got to wear a gimp mask and dance around for a bit. I'd be like, I'm not quite sure that's justice.
He does look very sorry.
He does look.
He's shown, the big thing. He's shown remorse.
Squelches into the court.
he's on the lead.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, good lads. Good lads.
I got caught up in a fight this weekend.
Did you?
Between a fox and a cat. So I was outside, not here, somewhere else.
Wow.
Hold on to your hats. I was outside at Elle's house, and I've become friends with a fox there.
You befriended a fox?
Yeah. It's not the first time I've befriended a fox. I do have a way with foxes.
You're
I have a way with animals. They do seem... Actually, Elle said quite an embarrassing comment to me recently because I was discussing either a dream I had or something with quite a lot of my friends.
Close friends?
Yeah, and she just piped up out of nowhere. She was like, have you ever considered going to therapy because of your love of animals? Implying that like I've got a problem because of, I can't be intimate with her, but I can be intimate with a cat. Not like that. I can't fuck a cat.
But what was her
thing was like, I think quietly she was saying, you've got intimacy problems with humans, and then that kind of goes to animals instead.
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't actually say that, and I filled in the gaps and then embarrassed myself.
And then she was like, there
was nothing to do with that. And I was like, well, maybe just wind your neck in. I think it's because I had a dream about a shark, and she was like, that's enough.
Yeah.
Were you
get on with a shark?
No, it was more.
What was the dream?
What was the dream? There was something to do with fishing. This is a while ago now. It was something to do with fishing, and then there was a shark going in and out of a cove, and then when I jumped on to go and see it like a fucking moron, trying to pet the shark, and then suddenly this like water came in, and the thing that I was standing on then went, and then I was then hastily swimming away from the shark.
Did the shark get you?
No, I got to safety.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I guess that's sort of like, what does that mean? What would Freud say?
Freud would say, I don't know, I'm flirting with a problem.
Yeah,
I don't know, it's hard to do your own. I mean, I'd have to... That was a week ago.
Anyway, carry on about the
So there was this fox. Yeah. There's this fox that I've seen about. He's a very fluffy fox.
Yeah.
I've got a picture, but you can't be bothered to edit it in.
No,
so imagine a very cute fluffy fox.
Most people listen anyway.
Yeah, it's true. But so I've got quite close to this fox in a few nights where I'll go like...
Yeah.
And then it will follow me. And then we've never touched. I feel like that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't think that can end well. Foxes kill babies and shit.
Yeah.
But so I then went outside at Elle's for a bit, and this fox arrived, and I went, "Oh, hey, buddy, nice to see you."
Your girlfriend's desperate for even a hug.
Yeah. She's inside going, "Why are you going outside again?" I sense the fox is here, like a perverse Snow White. I then go outside. The fox is there. He's very close, and he's kind of sneaking towards me, and then I hear the jingle of a cat. Or a dog. Yeah. This time it happened to be a cat who was running towards me. Now, I don't know if you've read many children's books.
I have.
But foxes and cats don't really go too well together.
Yeah.
Fox and cats,
Do you remember the film Cats vs. Dogs?
Cats versus dogs?
Dogs versus cats?
No.
It's like a kid's film.
Where do foxes go into it? Yeah, you've embarrassed yourself there, pal. That's like, have you seen Monsters vs. Aliens? As applicable.
Cowboys versus aliens.
Well, there is Monsters versus Aliens.
Yeah. Anyway.
You ever seen Finding Nemo?
I have seen
I thought we were just saying irrelevant things. So the cat comes jingling up because again, this is a problem. This is my animal problem here.
Yeah.
All the animals are converging on me, but they're going to kill each other if they get into too close a proximity to it.
Sure.
So the fox is there, and he is fucking staring at this cat.
Yeah.
The cat is running towards me, trying to get stroked. Now, I've met this cat before. He's not a genius.
Well, he's a thick.
He's a fucking thicko. He's got, those cats with the eyes that are going and they're big. And
some cats have like an air about them
of idiocy.
Intelligence.
Yeah, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Most cats are smart, I think.
Yeah, much smarter. The dogs have a
stupidness.
A sweet stupidness, but cats are plotting. They plot.
Yeah. Whereas this one is just like a fucking moron.
Sure.
And I was trying to get him to see the fox right there, as not far off, as close to like maybe to the wall there.
Yeah.
And the cat was right in my thing. Now I'm thinking two things. One, I don't want to see a cat get killed.
Were you doing a lot of Chris Pratt?
I was doing so much Chris Pratt.
In Jurassic
Genuinely.
You had a little leather gilet on.
Yeah, just. But then I was like shouting at the fucking fox. I was like, no. I was like, okay, going, no. But at the same time to the cat, I was like, there's a fox there. There's a fox there. Neither of them were listening to me.
Yeah.
Then the fox was just staring at it. It couldn't take its eyes off the cat. And one, you really don't want to see the cat die. And two, if the fox went for it, I'm getting caught in the middle there, and like foxes bite. You could fucking rabies and shit. It's bad.
Yeah.
So that went on for a bit. The cat had no idea what was going on. I was pushing it with my foot, and the cat runs off back to this second door, and then he's not running off. He's not running particularly quick. The fox chases him. So I then had to run.
You're going after?
I'm going. I'm not gonna be responsible for this cat's life. So I run after. I'm back to square one again.
Yeah.
No, but this time I pick up the cat and then get into the second door, which is into L's in like an apartment, and then on the second door, it's not near her door, but it's in there. I came back. Whatever. Saved the cat's life. Great. Went back.
I'm a hero. Whatever.
Exactly. Went back inside expecting a hero's reception. Elle was not pleased. She was like, "What? Did the cat look like an idiot?" I was like, "Yeah. Well, like that's the diabetic cat that shits on the floor all the time."
Was she saying let it die? Hopefully it would die.
That was my response. I was like, because that cat shits on the floor, it deserves to be murdered and mauled by a fox.
Yeah.
She didn't say no.
But she grew up in. She didn't grow up in the city, did she? She
grew up in France, rural France.
So I was going to say that you're a country boy. And she doesn't understand that you have a way with the...
I'm out there doing Chris Pratt. And then, she's just like, no, that's the diabetic cat. Because in fairness, this cat keeps getting into her flat. And then at like midnight, the owner comes in like banging on the doors, being like, my cat in there, it's got diabetes and it needs to take its pills. And it's like, oh yeah, that's why it smells in the hallway, because the cat's got in somehow, shits on the floor, then the owner comes and bangs on the window in the night to retrieve it.
Yeah, but if it died, I just imagine this kind of owner would be banging around.
Can you imagine
my
the
cat's
hell?
dead.
Yeah,
I'm
my
sad.
cat's dead. Why didn't you save him? You were there. You were there.
Was this on Saturday night by any chance?
Yeah. I didn't imagine it.
No.
If that's where you're
if
going.
It was, because I was thinking on Saturday night, I was like, I'd love.
Sorry.
I'd love for Andrew to see where I am right now. About 1 a.m. on a Saturday, I was in a Conga line, and I didn't know anyone in the Conga line. I was at a birthday.
Conga line.
I was at a birthday party of someone I didn't know, and I was in the middle of a conga line, and there was maybe 40 people in the conga. It's funny. It's funny being in a conga line when you don't know anyone in a conga line. That is kind of a.
You didn't know anyone in a conga line.
No, I knew some people outside the conga line, but they actually weren't in the conga line.
So how did you end up in the conga line, or they didn't end up in the conga line?
Because I went to a friend of a friend's party because met someone for a drink.
Yeah.
It transpired. It's Saturday night. It's in the city. You're in Roadshow Gould. Anything can happen.
You're going to end up in a conga line.
Happen. It's like every Saturday night.
Usually it's a conga line.
Imagine if you're wondering what Roadshow Gould Saturday night's like. Yeah. Watch the film Eyes Wide Shut. That's pretty much every Saturday night for me.
I didn't see many conga lines in that one. I didn't see many.
That's the extended cut.
Right.
That's the extent. That's the director's cut. You know. And remember, Stanley Kubrick
Knobs
died.
Flying around.
He died before the release of the film. So if he'd been alive, he would have got the conga scene in.
Yeah. And do you think he died because of the conga? Tits flying about.
Who's to say?
Masks.
Yeah.
It
could have been. It would have been great. It would have been very creepy. No. You could have a sad conga. Or like Hey. Hey.
In no way.
Imagine a funeral conga. That's what I want at my birthday.
I don't think. I don't think there's
around the coffin.
I don't think there's any world where a conga line could have been included in Eyes Wide Shut, and it would have been scary or sad. There is not. Now I say this rarely. That could only ever be funny. I don't think a conga line.
Funny.
I don't think a conga line
with what it reveals about the dark truth of society. Right, you laugh at first, and then you pause and you think, God.
I'll bite. What can it say?
Well, it reveals that in many ways,
slow march towards.
We're all in a big conga line.
God, that's just the stock thing to go to, isn't it? Any kind of metaphor discussion is like, we're all
in a way,
like that.
In one way, I guess we are all in just one big conga line.
Marching towards death.
No,
not even that.
No,
not even that.
Just in a genuine conga line.
Yeah.
It's not an allegory.
But anyways, we all have our hips, our hands on the hips of people in front of us and go, hey, every now and again. In many ways, we are. How did you find it?
It was fun.
The conga line.
It was really fun.
How long did it go on for?
I mean, it was. You've met Maud. So it's Maud's friend. So everyone looked like an extra, and it's like a 70s film.
Yeah.
Just everyone dresses. They've been costume designed. In like a period piece film.
Yeah.
It was the George Tavern, which is an old pub.
Yeah. Down the road.
Yeah. And so it was like a lock-in. And there was musical chairs as well, but I was
like an ironic party.
It was. I guess I think it would push into post-ironic. You know, It wasn't sneering.
Yeah. Well, we've been to one,
but it definitely. Yeah, I'd say true.
But we went to one which was done properly.
Yeah.
I mean, that was renting out
a kids' hall.
Kids' hall and having prep. It wasn't, it wasn't spontaneous conga lines and spontaneous musical chairs. There was games prepared.
But I would recommend, if you do have a pub and it's lock-in and you control the variables, I do think a conga line is...
Now, you see, it doesn't...
When was the last time you were in a conga line?
It was probably at a wedding.
I guess conga at weddings, I guess, yeah.
The Kerwins do.
The Kerwins
conga at weddings, yeah. Can't get them off each other.
There's a lot of cousins. There's a lot of cousins.
That's probably why we conga. Because we could probably get 100 conga line pretty fucking easily with just blood relatives.
Just the Kerwin cousins.
Just blood relatives. I genuinely think the last time I was in a conga was at the Kerwin wedding.
Yeah.
I think they've only done one conga for mine.
Yeah.
Dad didn't do one of his, although there was only 7 of us there. Because of COVID.
But it makes you feel...
No, it doesn't.
No matter how you feel, it's hard to be sad in a conga, I'll tell you that.
I think it's hard. I think it's easy. I think it's really easy to be sad in the conga line.
What have I become? My sweetest friend.
I think it's one of those forced fun situations where I would be self-conscious that I'm not enjoying the conga as much as I should be.
Sure. I guess it's that feeling of like your loneliest in the busiest cities. You know,
I think
everyone's smiling, everyone's laughing. Right. Why can't I just fit in?
Why can't I get there? I think actually, I think your question was slightly loaded in when have I done my last conga. What'd you do, bro? And I think it's actually fair. I think it matters who you conga with.
Yeah.
I think in a younger situation, I think I'd enjoy the conga more.
But you're older now.
No. As in with younger people. If I'm doing it with, great aunts,
sure,
I think they're enjoying the conga a bit too sincerely.
Yeah.
For me, it feels like this is what they think we should be doing. This is like a fun thing.
This is not ridiculous. They don't see the ridiculousness.
It's like dinner. It's like having dinner.
Yeah.
It's like a meal.
It's like an after meal.
Yeah. It's like a glass of beer. This is what
thing.
You do. Which is then they take it too seriously, and they're like, get up.
Yeah.
What's that? There's a sketch and someone doing that actually. They're like,
what, get up?
No, you. Someone does a conga. It's probably Lee Evans, but it's someone else.
And everyone keeps joining. Yeah. What's the twist?
It's not a sketch. It's a stand-up bit. Okay. I think it's like him acting out everyone in the conga line. Being like, doesn't matter. But
should we link it in the description?
Sure. I'll find it. I'll send it to you. It'll be in the description.
But BB was in Cordoba running a half marathon randomly. I don't know.
So random.
Very random.
So rando.
And so I was single this weekend.
Yeah.
So I cheated on her multiple times.
Yeah. You absolutely have to. Yeah.
No, but it was interesting being like, it's funny going back to having a weekend where you don't have a girlfriend at social gatherings. Because you're more free, but you're also a bit more of a pariah.
That fly's been there for weeks.
Yeah. It's embarrassing because we have flies in the house, as we made fun of you, me and BB, when we came into your room and you had flies above you.
I don't have flies in my room. I literally... The flies followed you in.
It makes you look... You're like, you're stinky.
I know.
It's like a cartoon stinky.
Yeah, I know.
So there's actually a few things more embarrassing than having flies around.
I know. I'm aware. They weren't there before you came in. I honestly think they followed you in.
Yeah. But it's interesting being at like a social event without a girlfriend for the first time in a while.
Why?
Because I guess it's just slightly different, because it's like you can sort of you can fade away from places, and it's like.
And you were never really there.
But it's like
this is very bleak.
No, it's not. It wasn't fully bleak. It's just different. Like I left. I guess partly because I didn't know anyone there. I guess that's. But I left, and it was just like leaving a place on your own.
I was never really there.
No, leaving a place on your own is an interesting. I haven't had that experience like that for a while. That's quite. I walked back for 35 minutes, and it's like no one would care if I lived or died.
Yeah, it's very easy to get into a bleak kind of reality when you're used to having someone else there. It's more the Sunday when you wake up.
Yeah, a perma friend, as I call my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She's
a pal. You do things.
A perma
pal. Like rent a pal for life. Well, no, because I had this for 5 weeks. Obviously.
Oh God! So you're a pariah. Were you a social pariah?
No,
You're a pariah.
I wasn't. No,
you're a pariah.
I didn't feel like I could melt into the background. I left and thought I was there.
Yeah.
People will remember me.
Yeah.
But I think
your name lives on.
Yeah, but no, it is weird leaving somewhere by. There's a different quality to leaving somewhere by yourself.
Yeah.
I guess, but it's more about the destination of loneliness rather than the journey.
Mm.
You've been watching I'm a Celeb.
I haven't been watching I'm a Celeb, actually.
Well, you should. It's always good.
Yeah.
I like it. It's always good fun. It's a fun little reality show. I think it's a bit cleaner and nicer than a lot of the others. It doesn't make me feel dirty.
Love Island does, though.
Love Island makes me feel stinky.
Yeah.
And I'm with The Jungle.
Yeah.
The majority of people come out saying it was the experience of their lifetime. With Love Island, a lot of people kill themselves. Yeah. So there's a difference.
Yeah.
So it's just good, clean fun. So I mean, this season, Ant and Dec, just still on their top form. They bring it every episode. Yeah. I think I laugh out loud at them every episode.
Really,
they're just the best.
Well, what's great about Ant and Dec?
No one does it better.
Yeah, is that you're rooting for them. That's the main thing. You're rooting for them.
Yeah.
Some of the jokes don't land, but you're like...
That's part of the fun.
You'll get him next time, man.
Yeah, it's true. It's part of the fun.
It's not this fucking guy.
Yeah.
That was a bad one, but you'll get him next time.
We're just waiting for them to come back. They're just very charming and great. So Farage is the main story, I suppose.
Nigel. But then I guess, because it's a bigger deal than Matt Hancock going on there, but because we've had Hancock, the seal's been broken.
There seems to be less anger towards Farage than there does to Hancock.
Yeah. Because most of the country love Farage, right?
That's not true.
Well, they either love... He's Mr. Marmite.
Oh, Mr. Marmite, that might be true, yeah.
Because a lot of people are talking about him maybe being head of the Tory party. And he's the biggest star on the British right wing, for sure.
100%.
There's no one who's...
He's kind of the pioneer of a lot of it.
So I think... And he didn't fuck up COVID. I mean, he did Brexit, but he... delivered Brexit and he'd still... So it's he's going in there saying sorry. Hancock was doing an apology tour.
But that's kind of... What's interesting is that Farage's views are far more extreme and abhorrent.
Yeah.
Hancock's, less radical. He just, fucked up.
He just fucked it.
He just absolutely fucks it.
Yeah.
So it's just interesting because, Farage is UKIP. It's a UKIP man.
Yeah.
That's racism, essentially. Like, he's a racist, pretty much.
Yeah.
He is, yeah. I don't think that's...
Charming.
Charming, sure.
Yeah.
Well, he's not... So what's interesting about him is when he comes in, he's clearly got charisma, right, in the first few episodes. The thing is, that wears off so quickly because he's got politicians' charisma where... he hasn't changed. You haven't seen an arc or anything. He's been the same since he's got in because you haven't really seen him, basically. Because he knows how to play it for the camera. Okay. He's also been talking...
What, is it dropping, are you saying? Or is it like, we've seen the act Nigel, let's see the real Nigel?
Yeah, but that's kind of it. But you just won't because he's so drilled in this thing. Yeah. And it's like, he's got some charm. But he's like creepy as fuck.
Really?
He's coming across creepy as fuck at the moment.
Like his whole plan for doing this is that he's like, my personality is what's got me this far.
Yeah.
If I manage to do it, I'm a celeb, I'll win so many people over because it's basically the biggest weapon in his arsenal.
But that's kind of the point. So it will be a little bit, I guess, like Hancock. But what do you often get when a villain goes in? They do the trial every time, right?
Yeah.
So he's been caught on camera saying that he basically wants to do the trials because it's like you get 20% more airtime or something.
Which is a crazy thing to say.
It's like, how are you not realising you're on the show at the moment?
Yeah.
And like, that's going to be aired. So it was a stupid thing to say. And he said it again. He said it again yesterday, but people haven't been choosing him for trials, I think because he's quite boring.
Is he?
Yeah, because he just gets on with it. He just gets on with it.
Yeah.
And also, he gets on with it. And I think now that he made that comment, people just don't want to give him the airtime.
Yeah.
So for someone to go in as a villain, usually you'll get there's a bit of, I guess, catharsis for the viewers as they watch, a villain eat.
He's behind you.
Eat poo. Oh no. Yeah. 2 different approaches, but a similar thing I get. But I guess that, you get a bit of that, and then they get, you'll see another side to the traditional villain, because you'll hate them when they go in and you think, oh, maybe he's all right.
Yeah.
Whereas he's not really getting much airtime.
Yeah.
He's only done a couple of the trials, and every time he talks, he sounds like a creep. He's like
creep.
He's a creep.
Yeah.
Like the way he's just he's one of those people when you see him like hug someone or like put his arm over someone, you're like, can you get off her?
Is he a shagger?
That's a really interesting question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because Johnson's shagger, obviously. Hancock's a bit of a shagger.
Yeah, Hancock is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Is he married?
I can't tell. No, but
do you mean
is he a sexual person?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what makes him creepy.
Sure.
Is he's got this sleaziness to him.
Yeah.
He looks like a frog.
Yeah.
He big frog time stuff.
Yeah.
He got naked very quickly. He was like showing that booty.
And he's got into a lot of fights. I've seen clips of him getting into fights with this Nella Rose gal.
Yeah.
And then it is funny that it's just got a bit ridiculous that it's become a place for like political discourse. Is the jungle.
Yeah.
And it's because the same thing happened with Hancock, where there was the novelty of that. But now, when you had that waiter guy, what's his name?
Fred Siriu, I think, or Siriu.
Grilling Nigel on Brexit in a sort of...
While he's making beans and rice on a pot in Australia.
Sort of grilling him in like a freer way than he's sort of ever been grilled on Brexit. In a way that's like, it's kind of casual and you can actually properly speak. Well, but then we're getting that job
but the interesting
this waiter guy in a jungle.
But the interesting thing, because they've, in an interview, the interview stops after maximum an hour.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to live with each other.
But then he can keep following him around.
Exactly. So he can't, be like... But that's why it can be almost the most authentic.
Yeah.
Because Fred could keep following him around and asking him that question.
But it's just I guess it just seems a very... I don't know if it's a healthy place to work out political discourse, or maybe it is.
Well, maybe it is. Because we've tried other things.
But I guess it's the right setting to work out political discourse, but it's the wrong people to do it.
Beans and rice in a jungle.
Well, I mean, as you said, you're living with these people. It's 24 hours a day. So you get a time to really grill them. But the problem is the people who do grill them are, by definition, Z-list celebrities. Right?
I don't think they've got to anywhere near working out political discourse with those chats, with these maybe 3-minute chats we've had.
PMQs, I don't think people have PMQs in the same way in other countries. It's quite a British thing, that kind of combative thing.
Yeah.
If we kind of move that, or like, how about after people's prime ministership, they then go in the jungle and then they get grilled as a sort of retrospect of whether they've done right or wrong. So we get to see.
I just don't know. I like the idea of it, but I just don't know how much, because there's been a couple of comments. So the one between Nella and Nigel was just a broad "why do you hate immigrants" one. Nella wasn't exactly. She was. That's very. What I mean.
She was very impassioned. You've actually got quite an opportunity here. But you don't, these aren't the people.
She wasn't making excellent points. But then they did one on cultural appropriation yesterday, I think.
Yeah. How did that go down?
That was more interesting.
I watched that, and Farage didn't come off well from that, even though I sort of agree with some of the points. He could have had a good argument, because I do think it's gone too far.
It was quite vague. Though. They didn't really.
But then did you see him drop a Jamaican accent at the end?
What about?
So when he's leaving,
that's why they started.
No, but at the end of the conversation, then he was like, "Well, me don't know." Or something like that. He dropped that because he just talked about that, and then he's like, "Well, I just don't know where the line is. I guess me don't know." Just dropping one in there.
Quite funny. Again, it's like I don't really.
Who is Nella Rose?
So she's been the big controversial one. And she's a YouTuber who has done stuff with like Philly and Chunks, I think.
Oh, okay.
That kind of that generation. So a lot of the kids love her.
Yeah.
She did fuck it very early on.
How?
She basically so her dad had died. That's not how she fucked it.
Oh god.
Her dad had died, I think 4 years ago. Her dad died.
Okay.
She'd mentioned this in the camp.
Yeah.
Fred is then cooking some beans or something for her, whatever. The waiter is who's the chef in this thing. They're then, I don't know, discussing whatever. And Fred says, "I'm old enough to be your dad. Or I could be your dad." Because he mightn't have missed because of how old he is. Nella then gets upset at that and then sleeps on it and then says, no, I am upset, and has a massive go at him, calling him a weirdo and a freak and stuff because he knew her dad was dead. Yeah, he still said that.
Oh. And it's like, it's Fred. He's a waiter.
Well, it's like, it's a saying.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so there was this whole debate about it online, and racism was brought into it. And I'm like, I don't really see that.
Well, the angry black woman stereotype being used and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When it was like, it was clearly an overreaction. There was no malice. You can't be like, there was no malice in it. He's saying, I'm old enough to be your dad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. If your dad, like, that's fine. If your dad died, that should be okay. But fair enough, I guess fair enough if you want to be upset. You can't call someone a weirdo and stuff out of that. The only one that's kind of fair is that, I guess black people express themselves a bit differently. But I think, I know black people who wouldn't shout, call me a weirdo if I'd said something like that. So I don't know. I felt like everyone lost their mind a bit.
Yeah.
Not
that's
everyone.
what I'm a Celeb's about, isn't it?
Well, no, but
it's about the British public losing their minds.
Because it was a younger generation of them loving Nella because I never knew her before. So I kind of had a bit more impartial kind of look at it where I was like, this is just ridiculous. But then so I think they saw that and were looking for any way to defend her. Because there is a thing where it's often the black woman gets the most hate on these shows or whatever. Certainly. Which historically, yes. But you can't have a white guy just say, I'm old enough to be your dad, and that merit the reaction. It just doesn't add up. She was being ridiculous, in my opinion.
Were you getting involved in the Facebook discourse?
It was more than the TikTok one. I was leaving. I've got more and more videos out as we speak. Oh God, I'm Team Fred. But then she's got a lot of flack, and I actually think since that argument, she's got a lot better. I think she's relaxed a bit more into it, and she's been getting stick where she doesn't deserve it now. Yeah. Because now I think it is racist. Now the racism's come in.
The old one too.
The old one too.
The old not racist, but actually racist.
Exactly. It was deceptively not racist, and then bam, there it is.
The Trojan horse. What's inside its racism.
Now there is the stereotype, and she's actually relaxed a lot more, I think, and is thriving a bit better. But
we got a Rust update for y'all.
Oh yeah.
So this actually got sent in by a couple of people. We were meant to talk about it on the last couple of episodes, but I guess this adds a bit more. It's just more video evidence to the case, I guess.
Well, I don't know what this shows.
So the video is,
as in I don't know why it's relevant.
Yeah, the video is the test footage, which is of a scene where they're working it out. Yeah, with
not the scene.
So they're blocking.
It's just any scene.
Yeah.
It's just a random scene.
I guess it's Alec Baldwin. What comes across is how much creative input he has.
Which is quite a lot.
He's pointing, I'm going to be here, and then I'm going to come here, and he's talking about, is he directing it?
Well, that's the question.
Was he directing it?
I don't think so.
We should know this. But I don't know. That's the main thing that came across from that video. One, he looked very charismatic. He was a dynamic performer.
But we already know that.
We already know that. And he definitely seemed to be throwing out a lot of ideas with a lot of authority. So he was the boss on that set.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He's not a director. He's a producer, though.
He's a producer. So I get that's the main.
He's Alec Baldwin.
The main takeaway
is Alec Baldwin as a director.
Is that he had a lot of authority. On that set.
Do you think
he was calling a lot of shots?
Yeah, I suppose that is a relevant takeaway.
So that's the main thing.
Who gives a fuck? If that's used as evidence, I think that's actually unfair. Yeah. Because imagine if you were, you're Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
On any set you're going to be on, you're going to have some creative input. You've been on 30 Rock, for God's sake.
Should we put loaded bullets in the gun and shoot the DOP?
Yeah. I mean, no. Fuck. I can't remember what I said.
Oh, so we can't give ideas just because we're actors.
But yeah, so you can. I don't know. We need to find out what's going on there soon. I'm going to lose my mind. But if it's you can't. If he has an active role in blocking a scene,
then he's killed.
Then he's killed. Like, what are we talking about? Because he could then quite justifiably be like, no, I was blocking the scene. I didn't expect there to be a live bullet in the gun.
Yeah.
Because then if you're blocking the scene, you'd be like, you move. Well, but it also showed he was being quite, he cared a lot about the welfare.
That was it.
Because there was someone falling over and they're like, well, you've got to be careful because you can't let this person fall over.
Yeah.
So actually,
it showed
double-edged sword.
The Baldwin truthers, it's a win.
If you don't know what we're talking about, look up the video. It's like Rust, just type in Rust on the news and it will come up.
The cameraman fell over. And
nearly
Baldwin
fell over.
Looked terrified at the idea that he could fall over.
And furious at the person who let him fall over. So you get all edges of Baldwin. There's terror because he cares about the person, but is that just because of lawsuits? But then the fury of you can't let someone get hurt, then there's also anger towards the crew. So in conclusion, I think this clip shows absolutely nothing.
I guess it adds to the tragedy of like he's probably quite almost performatively. I'm sure it was genuine, but like if a crew member falls over, he's showing how much he cares. We can't have anyone get hurt on there. All right, rolling. Oh God!
Oh dear!
I
think she's dead. Yeah, no, I mean, the court date draws near.
Yeah.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
But we'll be on the scene.
We'll be on the scene.
So have you been feeling quite fatigued of late?
Yeah, a bit fatigued.
Yeah.
I started smoking again briefly. So
you fell off the wagon.
I fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
Well, I fell back onto the old smoking cigarettes wagon. Sorry, Mum.
Yeah.
But then, so now I've quit again, which is frustrating.
How's take two? The return?
It's better. It's better because I mean, take one I was quitting after like 7 years.
Yeah.
Whereas take two I'm quitting after like 2 months. So, do the math. But these are actually real cigarettes, so there's a slight different attitude to it. But no, I'm only on day 3, I think. But it's.
Did you enjoy your time back?
I did, yeah. I did. It was like a little nod.
Yeah.
It's like on the farewell tours. It was like an encore.
Yeah.
Is what it really is.
Oh.
One more song. One more. I'll go on then.
3 more months. 3 more months.
So I think it was appropriate.
I guess also if like, one thing that is great about cigarettes and what I miss about smoking is that if you're feeling bad or life's feeling bleak, it like really
they sum it up.
It really vibes it out. It's like
I think it
adds
makes
a romance.
It does make you feel worse. I think romance is maybe something for the young. I think once you're out of uni and it's like and you're smoking, it's just like it makes it. You feel like, oh yeah, that'll be nice. I'll go out and have a cigarette in the rain, and I'll think about all the sad things. And it'll be like I'm in a film, but in reality, you're in your own garden. You're thinking, why did I just have that? I'm a fucking moron.
Yeah, I guess there's like the French argument for smoking, which Maud, as we've said, my friend, who they all dress like extras in a 70s film, and she certainly likes French culture a lot, and we'd go to a French bar, drink wine, talk about cinema. They're drinking red wine, they're smoking. I have to smoke 6
with a red wine.
Well, you sort of, it's weird the way that they do it, and it's like, well, you have to smoke a cigarette there. That's like,
were they smoking?
They were all smoking.
But
then, to me, I was like, this doesn't even feel unhealthy because this is you have to do it. This is part of and it's the whole shtick. You're
it's
like
part of the culture.
And that cigarette, it's like you have to do. I guess.
Well, I guess in a way, no one would take your opinions or points about film seriously if you weren't. Sorry, cinema. I see now. Yeah. I'd be terrible there. I wouldn't be smoking. I'd be calling them films. But yeah, that was my point. Yeah. They wouldn't take your point seriously if you don't have one.
Yeah, and it feels a lot of pressure. You'd have to start smoking. So those cigarettes, but it fucks me up every time. I guess if you don't smoke that much,
fucks you up?
If I smoke like even 1 cigarette, it's worse than like 8 beers in the morning. No, not. It's just my throat's fucked immediately.
That seems obscene.
Yeah, it just fucks my throat. My throat is guaranteed fucked the next morning.
Yeah,
just from 1 cigarette. So
I suppose
I have to really weigh up how much. And to be honest, a lot of the time with those, I will smoke half a cigarette and then just so I can hold it. You know?
Well, that was the thing because it's when I first had one after not having one for months. Yeah. It was fucking delicious. Yeah. I was like, it was like when you first started. Yeah. And then it kind of stays delicious for a bit as you're not smoking loads. And then as you begin to smoke loads, it just starts to lose its taste, and it always feels a bit like and then at the end, you're like,
you're Johnny Cash.
You're Johnny Cash. It's my slow descent to Johnny Cash, which has been well documented. Because that was last time was when I was shitting myself at Glastonbury Festival, wasn't it? But yeah, then... And then suddenly, wham bam, you're kind of addicted again, and then you got to do all this for yourself
today.
But then suddenly you're addicted again. You got to do it all over, which is fine. This is better. This is more. I think because I tried to quit a couple of times during these couple of months, and I just couldn't be bothered for it. It wasn't like I couldn't. It was just like I kind of just want one.
I felt that with eating and health. I think this last. I guess it was like there was a feeling where I was like, I'm not actually getting fat.
No. So I'm going to have this.
I'm just going to eat like shit for a month.
Yeah. I'm going to have all the biscuits are back out.
Oh, the biscuits are out. I'm eating KFC. I'm eating bad. And it's like, I don't get fat. So why am I acting like I do?
I think at the same time, what's happening is we're burrowing down for winter.
Yeah, it's true.
We've inadvertently burrowed down for winter. And I'm trying to drastically get back into my summer mindset.
I think you're the right way about it because it's taking its toll on me.
Yeah.
My lifestyle.
Well, me too.
It's not been good.
I've been waking up, being in the same room, getting into bed.
We've both been Johnny Cash hurt.
We've been Johnny Cash hurt. You've been eating KFC. I've been smoking.
What have I become?
You with a bargain bucket.
And you can have it all. My empire.
But it is, I think the change the seasons have, I wasn't quite ready for it. Because I got in such a good routine with everything.
Uppercut me quite badly.
Yeah, I think it hit both of us pretty hard. We got fucking decked by the onset of winter.
And we talk about it on the podcast, so people probably know this better than us, but one thing you do forget, you just forget how tough winters are in this house. Yeah. This house is not built for winter.
This house is brutal.
It's absolutely. Because you forget, because summer you're like, I could do another. This is all right, and then winter comes. You're like, this is freezing. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I've there's a dressing gown on the floor. Yeah, it's because I come upstairs in the dressing gown and I take it off before the podcast.
Like a boxing match.
Like a boxing match. But it's literally like going like this, and then I'm not going to wear a dressing gown on the podcast.
Yeah.
But no, I think maybe my theory is that this winter hit us very hard because how shit summer was in terms of weather. Yeah. I think that's why, because we didn't get it out of our system. Yeah. Last year, or the year before, it was so fucking hot that it was kind of like a bit of coldness sounds nice right now.
Yeah, I definitely had that.
And this summer hasn't really been that hot. We've had maybe a few days where it's been too hot. It needs to be too hot regularly, so then you could be like, oh, it's nice to be warm now.
I'll tell you what, and maybe this is probably quite a me thing, but I definitely... I'm a bit of a tourist in depression. Like I go on holiday there. I don't live there.
Yeah, me too.
I travel. Yeah. Like occasionally I'll do I'll look at the sites.
I go for like a weekend getaway there.
I have friends who live there.
Yeah. It's nice to see them. How you doing?
And it's often good for me to in the way that travel broadens the mind. Visiting depression can often it's nice to have that occasionally. But I definitely
kind of important.
I've overstayed. Now it's like the flights keep getting cancelled.
I'd overstayed, exactly. Yeah.
And now it's like I need to get out of
here. Yeah.
This is no longer nourishing me and giving me depth.
No,
this
exactly.
is taking away depth.
No, it is. 100%. But so I've made some changes this week. So hopefully
What have you done? You've been back in the gym?
Back in the gym. I'm going swimming tomorrow.
God, that is brutal. It's just so cold.
It's so cold.
So how was the gym? How was that process?
Fine. One of the main problems is I didn't have any trousers.
And then did you get trousers?
No, I just used some trousers I'm not too happy about. But I said, fuck it, no one cares. Yeah. And they didn't. No one came up to me and went,
were you wearing jeans?
No, I wasn't wearing jeans. No, to be fair,
I think jeans and Timberland boots is one of the funniest ways to go to
jeans and loafers is funnier. Jeans, loafers, and a stiff collar shirt.
Yeah, but then
tucked in with no tie, you've.
I mean, there's something quite funny to having tight jeans, Timberland boots, no top. So you're just
like a lumberjack, but then that's almost like you're showing off. Whereas I like stiff collar shirt, but jeans and smart shoes, because it's like that. If it wasn't jeans, if it was smart trousers, it would imply you've come from the office and have to get a workout in. The jeans, you're like, where have you come from? That's what you'd actually wear to the gym anyway.
Paddy's local gym, he only seems to... Apparently, the only people there are elderly people or people with mental disabilities.
That's perfect. I'd love to be there.
There's a couple of them who run in duffel coats.
Yeah, I've seen duffel
coat.
Yeah, these are bobbers. These are the bobbers.
Duffel coats on a treadmill.
Yes. I've seen jeans on the treadmill. I've seen, like, this is regular.
Are you practicing to run away from a thief, a mugger? Or are you not trying to make it more realistic?
They just don't even fucking care.
A duffel coat.
Yeah.
A duffel coat on a treadmill is one of those unhinged things I've ever had.
I know.
Just fucking...
But these are the bobbers.
Yeah, I guess so.
These are the bobbers.
People.
It's the same people. And there was a couple in today, and I admire them. I admire their confidence and not even bothering to Google how to use some equipment.
Yeah.
Because it's insane. I see there was a guy next to me today doing, I don't know what the machines are called. I'm not a fucking expert.
You're not a loser.
But there's one with there's like a cord and you can pull up. It's one where you do your triceps and you go like that and you can flip it down and do your biceps. But he was just like right by it, just being dragged up and down by it for the whole time. And I'm like, I don't know much about the gym, but I know surely you know what you're doing is wrong.
Is it not busy now because it's so cold?
It was. I went in a busier time than I usually do because of the podcast timing. But it was less busy. I don't know. I've only been twice.
Yeah.
But the pool will be fascinating.
Yeah. And you'd feel uncomfortable if we did Joe Wicks together in the gym.
I wouldn't feel uncomfortable. I just wouldn't do it.
Well, so we had a laptop up there.
I wouldn't.
Joe Wicks.
I wouldn't do it.
No.
Well, why? I know you did this with Paddy and
No, I mean, but Paddy's now been doing it with Adam because he lives with Adam, and I guess it was the only way that
You can come to the gym with me, and I'll give you a moderate routine. I mean, mine's kind of from Adam. Yeah. I've kind of made some of it up, but Adam showed me the ropes. Adam is our housemate who goes. He's like a bodybuilder. He
could have been a personal trainer if he wanted to easily.
He basically did, and then went nah.
Yeah.
They could do that. I'm not going to do Joe Wicks because it's.
Maybe.
I go to the gym for muscular stuff.
Oh, is that for like?
And swimming is for cardio.
Making sure you stay healthy.
Yeah.
Well, but it's like Joe. This is like get shredded in 90 days sort of stuff, right? I think.
But it's like I'm not. I don't know. I'm not knocking Joe Wicks because I've never really seen it. But is it he's like burpees and planks?
But then there's weights. So
I do it maybe once.
What the Joe Wicks thing.
I do it once.
You do have half an hour
a week.
You do half an hour sets, but it's a different one, and it's 10 of them, and you do that like 4 times, and then it's your
half an hour.
Half an hour, but every half an hour is different from the other half an hour. So you do 10 different half an hours.
I'll have a look.
The point is that you do your entire body.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of the point of
everything.
Yeah.
Well,
otherwise you'll get wonky.
Yeah, and those people are funny.
Those people are like the people with tiny legs is always funny. I can see why
they're slutty with it because you know.
Well, no,
they lack long-term thinking.
I wouldn't probably do that because I don't go every day. I alternate with swimming.
Yeah. So swimming's the perfect.
Swimming's the one.
Yeah.
Because it just kind of
it does everything.
It works. Although it's surprising the difference.
I might wait for the new year.
That would be entirely fair. I just think I might kill myself if I don't hit Christmas running. I think that's it.
I need something.
The new year kind of sounds nice. I really don't want to get back in the pool tomorrow because it's going to be. I haven't done it for like a month and a half.
Well, at least see what it's like.
No, I'm doing it. Yeah. It's going to be awful because it's like haven't done it for about a month and a half or something, and have just been smoking. Yeah. It's going to be. It's going to be tough. It's going to be embarrassing.
But we need to inspire people to, if you're
moving.
If you're depressed, this is a men's mental and physical health podcast. Lest we forget.
So your advice is stop eating KFC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine's stop smoking.
Yeah.
Or and both of ours is do some exercise.
Get after. I guess I'm asking for a call to action. People look to us for.
We've had
models. Give people something motivational. Something.
I think we've both had. As you can tell, winter has really grabbed us by the throat.
It's winning at the minute.
Winter has absolutely got us down. I mean, as soon as it came into the ring, it was one punch and Horatio and I were on the floor, not doing well.
Okay, still sounding bleak. Not
still
bleak,
but now's the chance. This is only round 1.
Let's get that's good.
We've got way more rounds to go.
Yeah.
The first thing you got to do is get up before you can punch Winter in the face.
The harder you get hit.
No, don't. Let's not fall into cliche when we're actually doing okay there.
Yeah.
The first thing you got to do is get up before you can hit. Now just get up. I've done very chill stuff in the gym. I've been like, don't punish yourself too much.
Yeah. You smoking cigs.
He's
crying. He's chilling out.
Yeah, just get at it, man. Like, we've got a while to go, and it might be shit for a bit.
This is a shareable motivational reel. We got music going.
Yeah, have you not fucking got it already?
So get after it.
Get and do it. Because if you don't, you'll regret it.
Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.